Right ahead and get into this preseason recap. Drew Pau Gasol, what's going on? Salute to you as well. Like and done. Appreciate that. And thank you so much for liking the live segments. Appreciate that so much. So let's go ahead and talk about this preseason game between the Bucks and the Lakers. Now, as you can see right here, this is probably like the biggest mismatch of the entire century right here. LeBron, Damian Lillard guarding LeBron. Like, I mean, let's face it, that is just a mismatch that nobody wants in a single game, especially if Dame is yours. But I mean, this is a mismatch that I like to see, honestly. Like, I mean, this just makes LeBron's life so much easier. But another thing that makes LeBron's life so much easier is going up against incompetent coaches similar to Darvin Ham and Doc Rivers. So despite the Bucks having a 23 first half performance from Bobby Portis, he scored 23 points in the first half, it still wasn't enough for the Bucks to hold on to that, as the Lakers took their first win of the preseason by a final score of 107-102, thanks to a 20-0 fourth quarter run. Yes, 20-0. The Bucks didn't score a single point. Meanwhile, the Lakers scored 20 straight. That is just the perfect example of Doc Rivers and Darvin Ham as the coach. I understand that this is preseason, but this goes to show you that this shows exactly what is to come with the Bucks. This is a common thing for Doc Rivers, just constantly blowing leads, and I understand that this is a preseason game, but again, a 20-0 run is just unacceptable. And especially since, LeBron and Anthony Davis, they didn't really play all that much, even though they ended up each getting 11 points. And that honestly should be a big problem, and that honestly should make these two coaches feel a little bit tense about the situation that they're in. I mean, 20-0 fourth quarter comeback. That is not ideal in any circumstance or in any situation. It doesn't matter what kind of game it is. If you blow a lead like that and you allow them to score 20 straight, meanwhile you can't score any, what on earth are you doing? What is that? And it's really just, I can't understand the thought process on these two being a coach. It's really, really bad. It's a very bad situation that they're in. LeBron and AD, while they did score 11 each, they weren't the leading scorers for the Lakers, as that was Roy Hachimura. So essentially, a little bit of a recap from the game. In the early going, fans, they got exactly what they expected. They got Giannis in this game. He ended the game with, I believe, 20 points, so he played rather well in this preseason game. And they made the score for 4-0 quickly, forcing an early timeout from the Lakers head coach, J.J. Redick. And then the Lakers responded quickly, rattling off 9 straight points, thanks to Roy Hachimura and Max Christie, and they made the score 9-4 in favor of the Lakers. And then as the game and the quarter sort of went on, in the final 6 minutes and 32 seconds of the first quarter, Portis ended up going on the floor, and he scored 12 of the final 14 points to sort of end that frame, helping the Bucks trim the Lakers' lead down to 3, making the score 26-23 heading into the second quarter. And then Portis continued playing well and scored 18 of the Bucks' 20 points, including a couple of three-pointers, and a dunk and a feed to Giannis to give the Bucks a 3-point lead with 10:55 left in the first half. And then the two sides, they went back and forth most of the second quarter. Neither side really gained much of an edge until the Bucks got going with some crazy plays, some highlight-level plays. Dame appeared to hurt his ankle in the first, but then he returned to start in the second quarter and nailed a bunch of three-pointers to take a 55-49 lead. And then with Giannis doing his signature Statue of Liberty dunks, where he just goes up high in the sky, puts the ball high in the sky, and no one can go ahead and stop him, they ended up getting a 58-52 lead heading into the locker room. And, I mean, when Giannis goes down the basket, when Giannis is running towards the basket, it's really, really difficult to stop him. And then Doc Rivers decided to pull the plug on the starters to begin the second half and sort of, allow the rest of the players in the rotation to get a chance. And there's nothing wrong with that. I really don't have anything wrong with that. I don't think Giannis and Dame should even be playing in the preseason anyway, but that's a completely different story. And Excuse me. So the Lakers starters, so AJ Green, Pat Connaughton, Tyler Smith, these are not Lakers starters, so I apologize for that mistake. And Pezekniks, forgive me if I completely botched that last name. They went up against most of the Lakers starter minutes with except for LeBron and Max Christie. And in their stead, Johnson showed some flashes of raw potential. Like he showed a lot of potential for the Bucks in their rotation. And the score was 68-65 with 6 minutes and 55 left to go. And then the Bucks continued to expand their lead, getting up to 8 points heading into the fourth, making the score 82-74 after a layup from Liam Robbins. And then both coaches threw out more of their young players, such as Andre Jackson, Stanley Umude, forgive me if I mess up that last name, Ryan Rollins, and they got a lot of action on the Bucks, and not to mention the Lakers lineup also got a lot of action. Milwaukee continued to expand their lead of their biggest night at 15 points, with Rollins' three-pointer forcing another Lakers timeout. And Maxwell Lewis had some impressive moments with the Lakers as well, scoring 5 of the 8 straight points for the Lakers to cut Milwaukee's lead down to 7 with 7:26 to play. Then the Lakers started to mount the comeback, and they went on a 20-0 run to retake the lead 94-89. And Quincy Olivari caught fire for the Lakers as he scored 6 points in short order and hounded Bucks ball handlers in the entire fourth quarter. And the Lakers, they were able to keep Milwaukee at bay as they held on to the win. And again, when a team goes on a 20-0 comeback, or a 20-0 run, in the fourth quarter, the most important quarter of any game, that is a serious problem, in my opinion. And just looking at the rest of the box scores, because I'm sure you guys are very interested to how Bronny James played in this game. Yeah, he didn't score any points. And that's really, I'm sorry, this isn't really looking as much as a surprise for me anymore. Like, Bronny James is just, he's just not it. He's just not it now. Like, right now, his shooting is so inefficient, and his defense is right now the only highlight of his play. And I understand he only played 6 minutes, but he was also able to get up 4 shots, and he made absolutely none of them. And I'm just, I'm very, very concerned for Bronny and the Lakers and how he's going to play for the rest of the season. And again, the best player and the leading scorer was Roy Hachimura. Dalton Knecht had 13 points. However, he did shoot 5 for 16 and shot 2 for 10 from 3. So he's definitely going to have to work on his efficiencies there. But again, this is a very big win for the Lakers. They were able to make a comeback, and then they were able to close out with that comeback. So really, like, the Bucks, they made the Lakers, like, they were really capitalizing on the Lakers' turnovers in this game, especially in the first half. And with the starters in during the first half, the Bucks scored 14 points off the 8 Lakers turnovers. And that's really, like, that seems to be where they're getting their most offense and their most effectiveness going in as of right now. And really, when you have good defense, you can allow this, you can do this. Like, you can definitely capitalize on another team's mistakes and benefit them for your own. So, again, this is just a very disappointing loss if you are the coach. Now, for the players, I don't really think there's much to blame because, again, it's really just not the starters out there and not players that you really expect to get much minutes in the rotation. So this is a coaching blunder more so than it is a player blunder, in my opinion. So that's all that I really have to say about this second segment. So now we're going to go ahead and go into the third segment where I talk about Klay Thompson and his debut for the Mavs. And we'll be right back after the short break, so be sure to stay tuned for that.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.